Hey, welcome back to the channel. Well, today we're going to do something a little different again. We're going to be sitting on a porch and we're going to be looking out. Got a barn right here, got a rocking chair here. I just threw some acrylic on it. But anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe for more future videos. Let's get started. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take a smidge of blue, if I can pull me out a little smidge. Here's my palette. Got 3 piles of white right here. I always like to have a clean pile. I'm trying to get me a little tiny, just a tiniest bit. Let's see what that's probably okay. I'm gonna start down here and work up. I like doing that sometimes. I really do. I think it helps on certain paintings. Because once I get my brush in, if I put it in dark blue and I start up here, well, it's pretty contaminated. I mean, you can't take the blue out once you get it in your brush. So a lot of times I like to start at the bottom and work upward. Just put a little bit of blue in it. And that's what I wanted, just a little bit for now. I do have liquid white up here. And that's it. Just right up in here where my sky is going to be. That stretcher bar always leaves marks. I get these cheap canvases where I paint so much, and yeah, they're cheap. I guess that's what I get, right? You get what you pay for. I'm gonna start making it a little darker. Try not to pull too much out of here. I got my little phthalo. This is phthalo blue. I'll just do it this way, make it quicker. Just give her some X strokes. I just want a pale little sky, kind of white. Set this down a minute. I may wind up putting a cloud or two in here later. I don't know. I'll look at it and see. I don't get real concerned with clouds in most of my paintings. But if it needs one, it'll get one. That's probably good for now. As I said, I might throw something in there later. But for now, we're good. Okay. I think I'm just going to start today. I'm going to focus on putting color down. Let me get me a brush. This is a number 4. Number 4 round. My paint is leaking for some reason. What we got here is we got a banister here, and a header running across through there. So let's start with a little bit of brown. Let's start with some brown. Let's see what this. Let's see. This should be dark up in here, pretty dark. I'm just trying to see what this color's going. This is just burnt umber. This is probably okay for here. Across the top. I'm just going to throw these in here real quick because sometimes it takes too long for me to actually do it in front of you. Makes it too long. Takes too long. But I'm just trying to figure out my colors right now. Might put a little ochre, yellow ochre in this. Kind of lighten it up a little bit. Half of this banister is going to have some white in it because of the sun. We want the sun to be coming down this way today. This banister, half of it will be dark, half will be white. Yeah, this is a real nice country scene. If I can get it down the way I want it, the way I have it in my mind. This is a nice country scene. Rocking chair on the porch. You know, I have somewhat of a picture. The picture doesn't have a barn in it. I don't have any banisters, but I may add banisters. I actually think it would look better. You know, it's just one of them things you just gotta kind of feel your way through. And as the barn goes, what color do we want? What do we want for our barn? Let's throw a little brown in there, and I don't make a lot of brown barns, but maybe I will today, I don't know. We're just gonna get collar down. Collar on the canvas. And brown might be okay. I don't know. Barns are usually bluish, grayish, reddish. Not too many of them are brown, but you know what? We like to do things that are different sometimes, just to keep interest. Maybe it'll be brown, maybe it won't. I'll look at it. You know, we'll judge as we go along. We'll put it in here. If we don't like it, we'll change the color. Put a little ochre in here. If we don't like this color, we'll change it. That's what we do. We don't like it, we change it. It's not too late to change it until the paint dries. When the paint dries, it's too late. But you can change anything until the paint dries. As far as the roof goes, this is raw umber, and it's real dark. You can almost, and I'm thinking about doing it, you can almost substitute this color with black. Or yeah, use this instead of black. That's how dark this is. I'm thinking about maybe doing that. Just stop using black altogether and start using raw umber. I'll see how much it costs. Maybe that'll determine. I think it's cheap. I mean, I don't think it's much higher than anything else than black. I know black's pretty cheap. Okay, let me go ahead and I'm going to finish this, and then I'll bring you back and we'll do the center area here real quick. All right, I think we're going to start working on some background trees here. Just always start further back, work your way toward yourself, if possible. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to take some black, some sap green. When I say background trees, these trees are not that far back. I mean, they got some collar to them. They're not way, way, way back. I'm going to put a little white in this also. I want them kind of dark, I think, because they're like I said, they're not that far back. If they were really far back, you would add more white to it. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's not too bad right there. I got a little line right. I'm gonna get this on the barn. It don't matter. Got to do what you got to do, right? I'm just gonna put some darkness down in here to start with. Probably should just use more black. More black and green, just don't even worry at all about the white part. You want them different sizes. This is a 1-inch brush. It's almost too big for this, but I have nothing. I really don't have much else. And we're just going to tap them in. Like I said, different heights. Everything should be uneven, so to speak. Everything's uneven in nature. You know, you don't see perfectly, you very rarely, I mean, you probably could see a perfectly straight tree, but very rarely. There's going to be a pretty good sized tree right here. I'm just putting this down here for mainly just to hide it, or just for color, something on the canvas, not to hide the tree. At least I think, as the painting develops, we change. I may think this looks good right here. I may not put a big tree there, but in the picture there is a big tree there. I'm gonna put a couple pine trees behind this barn right here, I believe. I might do that. And we're going to come back and finish these a little later. Let's go ahead and put some grass down right here. Let me get me another brush, a clean one. This is a number 3 round. And we're going to start back here. And I still haven't made my mind up about these banisters. I may put banisters in here. We'll just go along with the painting, see how it develops. But we got to do this. So this is further back. We're going to start with bright yellow. This is how I always do it. This way I'm just putting color on the canvas and I can mix it up really well like this with nice varied colors. Ochre's next. Ochre's next, and we'll put some green in it. As we're getting closer, it's going to get darker. In the picture, there's actually a big red mum right here sitting on the porch, but I just don't know if that'll look right or not. I changed my mind a lot. I mean, you have to adapt with. I call it adapting with your painting, and that's what you have to do. This chair is still wet. I just done this a little while ago. I may have to stay away from this chair for now. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't, the chair didn't, I'm just going to put some, I don't have any Prussian blue down. I thought I did. But I'm going to mix some phthalo blue with some green. See, that darkens it pretty good right there. As we're coming closer, phthalo blue, sap green. Because you want it to get darker as it gets closer. I'm just going to go ahead and cover this bush up because I don't know if I want it. And we're just putting color down anyway. It's going to be dark right there. Okay, let me get me a 1-inch brush. Set this down. Let's see what was on. Oh, I just had that dark. I can't use that. Let's get a clean one. Can't use a brush with dark on it because you got to start here at the top. Let's go ahead and blend all this up. As close as we can to the banister. We're just putting color down on the canvas. I'll go over each and every inch of this again with a fan brush. Or you can use a 1-inch brush. I use fan brushes. And we'll give it a nice textured look. I'm going to go all the way up in here. All the way up into our trees. Start working our way down. Don't start at the bottom and go up. That would be bad. You get the blue on your brush and your brush is ruined. This gives you a nice varied, makes your colors look good. I mean, it blends your grass real good, gives you a good base. I'm gonna have to stay away from this chair. I do believe. Oops, dropped the paper towel. Okay, I think after I do this, I'm not sure what to do, but I'll probably have to just wait a little while and put this collar behind that chair when that dries. It shouldn't take too long. It's been about an hour since I put that on. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start working on some of these trees, and I'll bring you back and show you what I'm doing. I'll leave a few of them undone, but I'm going to start on these right here. Okay, I went ahead and I found this little brush. This is my granddaughter's brush. I've used it on here before. It's smaller than a 1/2 inch brush. And I'm just taking some green and some yellow, mixing it together, putting some texture back in here. Now I'm going to take some pure yellow and see if we can't brighten it up just a little bit. The sun's coming down this way. I'm just going to brighten it up just a little bit, just on the right side of the trees. Pure cad yellow light. I'm tapping my brush to open the bristles up a little bit. Just on the right side. This is really all you need. This is what we're after right here. This is what we're after. Just show that there's light hitting the tree. And that's it. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and finish these trees out. There's a big tree here if I put it in. But if I decide not to put it in, then I'll have a blank spot. So I'm going to go ahead and finish these out. This is all you're doing. I mean, it's really that easy. It's not hard to do. And I'm going to go ahead and put some pine trees back in here, work on this barn just a little bit, and then we'll decide what else to do down here. So I'll bring you back in a minute. All right, let's go ahead and start working on our grass here a little bit. I've been working on my barn here a little bit. I got some pine trees behind the barn. That's really about all I've done. Seems like I've been busier than that, but that's really it. Just the barn. So let's start here in our yellow. Cad yellow light. I'm going to go ahead and start up in here. It don't matter if you get up into these trees a little bit. It'd probably be better if you did. And we're going to start here because the light is coming down this way. This is further back. And by that being further back, it needs to have a lighter color. So this is why we're starting with yellow. And as it comes toward us, it's going to get darker and darker. If you get some on this, that's fine. That's expected. On your post, get a little green in your yellow, that's fine too. My green is actually beside my yellow. That's why that's going on. And that's okay. Perfectly fine. I'll try to pull it out a little bit better, but that's fine because we're going to be getting darker anyway here in a minute. Let's try some ochre, yellow ochre. Yellow ochre. And we're just going to kind of blend and mix. Let me set this painting back a little bit. There we are. Kind of blend it and mix it a little bit. Yeah, we want our colors all mixed up. We want a nice variety of stuff. We want this to look like a nice field. Let's start working on some green. We're getting a little closer to us, so we need to start darkening our color. Green, sap green is what we're using. And I guess I'm just going to go ahead and put it over this chair as long as I can see my lines. That's why I went ahead and done that with acrylic, just so I can see my lines, because I had to draw that out. And as long as I can see my lines, it's all good. This is a pillow, this red thing right here. And we're going to keep coming toward us. Like I said, it's going to get a little darker and darker. And you can, I'm pushing up on the brush. I'm trying to create some texture in the painting to make it look grass-like, like it's sticking up. Clumps of grass here and there. Now, I've got some Prussian blue out this time. I'm going to mix it with some of this green. Here's my Prussian blue. I just took a big swipe, got some green, and it's really going to start getting dark. Now I'm going to pull this back out because I can't get to the bottom of it. Now it's really going to get dark down in here. And that's what we want. I even use red down in here a lot of times. It's a foreground color. And it looks good a lot of times. I just don't have any out. Alizarin crimson is what I use a lot of times. Yeah, you want it to look grassy. I guess grassy's the word, isn't it? We're going to say it is today. I'm going to set this down so I can hang on to my painting that's wanting to slide back on me. Get this one little area here. See, I think that looks pretty good right there. Everybody does stuff different. This is how I do it. Next person you meet will do it differently, but that's okay. All right, that might be about all I'll do for today. Well, as you can see, I've been working here a little bit. What I've done is I've put some banisters in here, because this don't really look like a porch. The picture that I'm looking at, all it had was this particular frame. That's it. Had no banisters. Well, I want it to look like a porch. All it really showed was a rocking chair here. So I've added some banisters, and I've got some flower pots sitting here, and I got some hanging, which I'm still working on, and that's what we're going to work on now. This is really wet, and I'm just messing around with them. I'm going kind of slow. I went ahead and did some of this stuff because it's slow work, and it's just boring, to be quite honest with you. It's just very boring, so I went ahead and done some of that off camera. And I'm just going around, and I'm still working on these flower pots. They're very, very wet. Sun's coming down this way. So I'm just trying to highlight this one side here. And as I said, really wet. I'm not exaggerating. I just put those in there. Very, very wet. But I'm going to have flowers hanging off of them, so that will probably help a little bit. Help hide some of the pot, because I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot with it because it's so wet. I'd like to get this painting done today. This is Saturday, and I got to have something to post for Monday. So I'm going to work down here until I can get this painting the way I want it. This will be my painting for Monday. But this is just really slow, methodical work. But I just want to check back in with you. I may wind up making these. Something looks strange. I think they need to be wider or something. Something needs to change with these banisters. I think maybe they need to be wider. I'm not sure. It's one of the things you just got to keep messing around with till you figure it out. These things up here, I have to steady my arm. These are a little tough to get to. I think these will look pretty good having something hanging down like this. This will make it look like a porch, I believe. See, they're so wet. What I'm doing really isn't doing much because this is just so darn wet. It's okay. It's no big deal. This is oil painting. That's the way it works. But anyways, I'm just going to keep doing this. And then I'm going to put some flowers in. I'll bring you back before I finish all the flowers. I'm just going to have some of them might be drooping down. I think most of them will be, especially these. Probably one or two will be drooping down here and one will just be sticking out of the pot. And then I got some straw bales back there. So I'll be back in a few minutes. All right, I'm starting to work on my flowers now. I got one draping down there. I got one just kind of standing up there, and I'm working up top here right now. Taking some Prussian blue. This is a number 2 brush. Prussian blue, sap green, and I'm just flicking them in. Flicking in some flowers. Prussian blue, sap green. This is really all you got to do. I mean, we're going to work on them more. I mean, but this is how we put them in. How I put them in. I say we, I mean me. Just going to flip them in. So you can definitely tell this is a porch now. It just didn't look like a porch in the photo. I mean, you could tell it was, but I just didn't like the way it looked. So you just got to make your own stuff sometimes. And hopefully it works out. It doesn't always work out, I'll be honest. I've got plenty of paintings laying around here on the floor where they didn't work out. But you have to try anyway. If you don't like the way a picture looks, you just got to maybe use it just for a foundation and then come up with your own stuff. This is pretty much what I'm doing right here. This canvas is still wet. This had liquid white in this area. Actually, it's a little drier than down here, believe it or not. I'm going to put some right here. These are going to be some hanger downers, if that's what you want to call it. They're going to hang down. I may have to take a paper towel or shop towel and kind of dry these up just a little bit before I put highlights on them, maybe. We'll see. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good start. I'm just going to keep working on this. I just wanted to bring you back. This is a slow process, and I'm still working on these things back here. They're really wet too, but that's what I'm doing. I'll bring you back in a minute and I'll show you what I'm doing with. I'll do a few of them, then I'll bring you back and show you what I'm doing. All right, I've been working on these flowers here a little bit. Give me a clean paper towel, and I left this one. I didn't put any yellow on this one up here because I want to show you how to do it. I do a lot of this off camera. It's just too slow. I mean, flat out too slow. Well, we know the sun is coming down this way. As you can see how I got these right here. I'm just touching the upper right side, just where I think the sun will be hitting it. That's basically what I'm doing. Just using my imagination. And wherever I think the sun is hitting, that's where I'm putting the yellow. And I got my palette sitting down because I got to have a paper towel in one hand. I think the sun's probably touching this stuff right in here, this area. It's probably going to be touching this down in here. Get a little bit more. You got to keep wiping your brush off. I'll just put this stuff in here and it's real wet. I think the sun's hitting that. Might be touching a little bit back in here. Just kind of spread it around a little bit, maybe right there. Not a whole lot, but just spread it around a little bit. See, that don't look too bad right there. Now we're going to start putting some color on our flowers. Let me find me a clean brush. I still have clean brushes. I haven't been painting too long. And I'm going to start with some alizarin crimson. I'm going to use a lot of red. Red really makes it pop. And then this one I think is going to be blue. Maybe one of these up there. See, I touched the canvas right there or something. I just now seen that. That's okay. But I know I want this red because of the blue barn behind it and probably this. So the way I do flowers is I'm just going to gob it on here and there. I'm not the best flower maker in the world, as I've said in other videos, but it gets the point across of what they are. And I'm just going to put them here and there. I'm going to put cad red light on top of them here in just a minute. But this gives it some nice color. I love color. As you can tell by a lot of my videos, I use crazy color sometimes because I want color. I want my paintings to be happy. Color gives a sense of happiness. That's probably plenty for that. I'll put some here, maybe not quite as many. I may have overdone that last one there. Yeah, color to me makes your paintings look happy. I'll put one right there, and that's probably it on that. As far as the top goes, I want one to be blue. I'll probably make that one red. I'll do this one, then I'll put some cad red light on, and I'll finish the rest of them off camera probably. I'm just blotting it on basically. Because it's so wet you almost have to. I'm getting as much as I can on my brush, and I'm just got a big glob on here. I'm almost out of crimson. I'll put one more right here. And that might be good for now. Now, cad red light. One of my favorite colors. Let's start right here. Got to get quite a bit on here. I'm going over the crimson. You put your dark color down first. And then your lighter color on top. See, look at that, man. That really brightens it up. Really brightens it up. Looks good. Nice bright colors. And the part that's in the sun, which a lot of this is, I might touch a little white on it. Just a touch. Okay, I'm going to finish this and I'll be back in a minute. All right, let me catch up on what I'm doing here. I have changed the color of this rocking chair. I've made it white. I'm not finished with it yet, but it blended in with the banisters too much. I added a path. I added these little things hanging down. And I got a clothesline right here. This is a country setting, so this is what we're doing. Now I'm going to put some shadows right here where these clotheslines are. Find me a brush here. Sun is coming down this way. We have determined, yes, we did. Been a couple days since I worked on this one. And I'm just going to put some shadows right in here. Shadow here. And like I said, I'm gonna put some more stuff on this rocking chair right here. So we're not done with that yet. And we'll just put some little shadows right here under this. These are supposed to be pants and socks. I hope you can tell what it is. That's what it's supposed to be. Pants and socks. Okay, now I'm going to put some stuff on this rocking chair here. Give me a paper towel. I got to put some shadows on it, shadow effect. But it's looking a little better. I couldn't think of what to do. It looked kind of plain a while ago, and I thought, man, I got to do something with this. And that's what I figured. Clothesline, white rocking chair, path. It helps. I think it looks better. Now I'm going to go along the left side of this rocking chair in some of these areas, and I'm going to put some shadow effects going on. It'll take me a little while to do this. I just wanted to show you what I was doing, keep you informed. I'm going to keep doing this with this rocking chair. I'm just putting a shadow on the left-hand side of it. And I'll be back in a minute. Well, folks, I think that's it. I think it turned out pretty well. It's different, and that's what we shoot for. That's what we want. Hey guys, don't forget to like and subscribe for more future videos. And thanks for watching.